Greetings everybody, my name is Knight, and I was not planning on making a video tonight, but I could not rest until I put this out because I really didn't want to do this tomorrow or any time of the week because I have other videos I wanted to put out. And this is for one of my followers. I'm not going to mention their name out of respect, but this is for you. You asked me about what is my perspective on shadow people. So everybody who's watching, this is my perspective on shadow people. When I'm about to tell you guys, I'm 1,000% sure. Like I'm more than 10,000% sure. You're not gonna hear how about shadow people how I'm stating it to you. You might hear like bits and pieces or aspects of how people might perceive shadow spirits, and everybody got their own opinion. But I'm telling you right now the cold truth of how I look at it, and it's gonna be kind of probably a little heavy to hear. I gotta be honest with you, okay? And I've seen them. I've been attacked by them. I've been choked by them. Like I remember, I've seen. I'm going to that in another video probably, but I'm telling you how I look at shadow spirits. And again, all right. So let's see how it goes. So my perspective from shadow people, right? Most shadow people, from my personal perspective, right? Just like us humans, they have feminine sides of them and they have masculine. So some shadow spirits are feminine and masculine. I see them on Navy boats. I see them all over the place. These are like mischievous, malevolent spirits. Sometimes they're nosy, they're curious, they walk around you. Depending on how low your vibration is, they can come around even more. Depending on how much karma you have in this life, they can really mess your life up, or they can sway you to listen to them when you might be thinking it's your angels, but it's these shadow people. Also, people don't know is that there's humans that used to be humans that are shadow people, and because they might have done a lot of negative things from certain past lives, they didn't incarnate, but their soul is dark, right? And so they're out here doing benevolent things, right? And some of these souls are attached to certain people's families. Certain people's families have more darker souls. So like, we all come from the light, you understand? But you gotta understand that like, light also comes from dark. Dark is just another aspect of light. It's dark. You know what it is? It's like how we see in space, right? Just because something's dark doesn't mean it's not a light, right? You can't just look at everything as like how we see in the rainbows, right? It's dark, okay? Um, and so, with this being said, again, most of them, from my perspective, are malevolent, right? They're mischievous, but some people don't really know is they're not just random souls, just are just shadows. Some of them souls were like people, guys, people. And also, a lot of the humans that's walking on Earth, a lot of people don't want to talk about it. Yes, we're all loving light, but certain people's souls are like dark. It doesn't mean they're necessarily evil, though. It depends on their vibration, also their what they incarnated here to do, right? That's why a lot of people go through certain things more than other people. They might seem wicked, right? And some people, they might be just straight wicked, right? You gotta understand this world is duality. Just like how we have angels that are in the light, you have these other spirits that are our guardians. Like I remember, not only on the astral realm when I dream and sleep, I've seen shadow spirits that help and guard people. A lot of the shadow spirits are from the underworld, the darker world, all right? And they actually watch over people because certain people's family have I don't want to say sign oaths, but they have like an allegiance. They don't really know. Like you may not know, but like say your neighbor, for example, they might seem good, but their family might not know. Their ancestry might stem from a darker past, so they might wonder why their life is kind of continuously going wrong. It doesn't mean us humans cannot change anything. It does not mean that, right? It doesn't mean you can't break away from karmic things, but like certain people have more shadow energy. So like when it gets down back to shadow spirits, right? Again, other than them just being shadow spirits themselves, just like how we have like angels and stuff, you actually have humans that were like there are shadows that are like walking around, right? They don't have like a clear aura because from what I've seen like spirits that are ghosts that are like light, like how you see the clouds, and then I see like gray. They're like neutral in color, light, like a light gray. And then I see shadow spirits, dark. Again, all shadow spirits are not evil. Some of them are actually just humans that are shadows, right? That because that's their souls. The shadows, dark. It don't mean they're gonna be bad to you. Doesn't mean they're gonna be evil to you necessarily. And this is when your discernment comes in. You gotta trust your discernment to see and actually trust yourself and know within you what are you looking at, what are you seeing. right? Because I'm telling you now, when I was in the Navy, I put this on everything. Like I saw shadow spirits. I've seen shadow spirits hitting stuff on the walls and banging in our bunks when we sleep in our dorms, not in our dorms, but our berthings. And the shit we call these things called berthings, right? And it's like an area with like 60 guys were just sleeping in there, right? And like you can see things. These ships are old, and I would see them out here in the States. So yeah, it's real. So again, from my perspective, most shadow spirits are malevolent, but a lot of people don't know, and a lot of people's family, you actually have these, what you guys would think shadow spirits, but they just, to me, they're not shadow spirits. They just have dark, like apparitions. They're dark apparitions. So how we see ghosts is clear. There's just a darker soul that they watch over people. A lot of them are not the best, and some of them can be ancestors. So you got to be real discerning, because they're not going to just be able to show a physical face or form. And also, you don't want to get them mixed up with like goddesses energies as well. A lot of people don't realize, right? I've seen, like, let me be honest with you, the dark goddesses, right? Okay. Um, I'll give you an example. Um, when I see like forms of how people look at Isis and Hecate and all that, I see them, right? But before they come into form, a lot of them are like really like the shadow, like they're dark goddesses. They don't just call them dark goddesses. It's not like human beings, like how people identify, like you know how I'm brown and some people are black and some people are white. It's not like that. It's literally like a shadow. Like when I first saw some of the dark goddesses, they appeared as like a silhouette of a woman, like a dark shadow. Then they would shapeshift into an actual whole woman in front of me, right? That's how they are. Cause like I had the energy I was on the same vibration to see them. Some people can't see them, so most people in society are going to see these goddesses, these dark goddesses, in their dreams, right? Same thing with shadow people. If you can't see them in your room, sometimes depending on their energy, you might see dark shadow people in your dreams, right? And they'll try to talk to you. I had this encounter a lot of times, when my mother was married to my stepfather. He had like a lot of negative energy. He had a lot of shadow spirits around him, a lot, like a lot of negative spirits. So yeah, so that's my personal perspective again. So when I look at shadow energy, most time they're not the best. But again, when you do see some, it doesn't mean they're gonna pay you any attention unless you see, you pay them attention. A lot of times they're just curious, right? Um, about you, and they want to disturb your peace because they want to suck off your energy, because a lot of them are binded to the earth. I don't know if I stated this earlier, because of certain things they've done in the past life. They've gotten so dark that they're just here. Yeah, right. And so again, y'all gonna find on my channel, I don't just talk about love and light, even though I'm a love and light person. I want to tell people the real deal, what's going on. Um, and for the souls I do touch, and I'm grateful. And I'm trying to make sure I ain't missing anything else on with the shadow spirits. And oh yeah, they're everywhere. Y'all know this. I'm pretty sure they're not just in America. They're all around the world. A lot of times, things like when I'm talking about, people talk about it, but they don't really go in depth, right? I've even seen them in the underworld. I've had visions in the astral realm in the underworld. Like they're everywhere. And again, they're not all bad, because like there's also like what you guys perceive as fallen angels that are dark shadows, right? And they're gonna look like shadow people. So you need to really use your discernment. You definitely can tell off the vibration and the maturity of the spirit. Some certain spirits are very immature, right? And this is why I tell you guys, don't always talk to angels and ancestors. You don't know their vibration. You don't know if they're hating against you. Just because you're in this flesh and you're like, oh, this is my ancestor, I can talk to them. Yeah, that's this lifetime. Guys, you might reincarnate as something else. So even if you're European, right, you could be an Italian European, right? Your next life, you might be German. It doesn't matter, bro. You guys gotta wake up, right? So that's why I always tell people, man, be cautious. But yeah, shadow people is nothing to be played with. Some of them can shapeshift. Also, there's energies of the light that can shapeshift. I've seen spirits of the light, they're not the best. You really gotta use your discernment, right? If you like, there's so many stories of the past and the ancient ones in the past that's spoken about stuff like this. But from what I've seen, most people, when they talk about shadow spirits, they just talk about, oh, they're shadow spirits, they just follow you around and stuff like that. But they don't really tell you the depths of where they come from. I'm telling you guys the depths where they come from, because I didn't find any of this in no book. This is all like channeled to me. All this is channeled to me. God's my witness. Cause like I like reading books, but I'm not no bookworm, guys. I was a military guy. I like to put my hands on things, like meaning I'm a person like I gotta touch, tangible. And if I can't touch it, I need to see it and I pray about it and I let it come to me. I've always been like that as a child. I like to read at times, but like end of the day, if it doesn't stimulate my mind, I'm not gonna sit there and waste my time on some book, right? And I'm not gonna sit here and listen to people if my heart feels like I don't connect with them, right? And that's just how I am. I go off experiences, and a lot of my experiences were negative. Like I'm a positive guy, but a lot of my life, man, was just dark. I just seen dark stuff, and I just come here to share it. And I only share it so if you guys ever encounter anything dark, y'all know the signs. Because I'm in this love and light community, right? But I just want people to be more honest with themselves when they do their readings. I want people to be more honest with themselves when they go through the experiences. Tell the whole truth. Tell the whole truth. Don't tell people half truths. That's why I'm not one of like secret societies and the government and religion. They all have secrets, but I do feel like there's a reason why we have to have secrets. But again, I just wanted to share that real quick from one of my what do you call it? My followers. They requested it actually tonight. They requested this not even about 40 minutes ago, and I was laying down. I was gonna text them, but I'm like, I don't really want to text all this stuff, so I'm just gonna make a video because if somebody else probably want to know, right? But it's deep. Like guys, you guys, uh, you even got children shadow spirits. Like there's so many things. Like I gotta break it down. It's like it's so big, but most time they're more in an adult form from what I've seen. Um, and the ones that are smaller, I still look at them as adult energy. I'm telling you guys, there's so many things I've seen this world that I can't. It's hard for me to even put into words to explain to you guys that y'all would understand. Because again, a lot of things in life came out of the dark, so like we kind of have to not think of everything negative. All right, get with this. But I would definitely say use your discernment. And I had to bring the goddesses in here, because like people work with the goddesses, but the ones like when I've connected with them, they haven't really done me harm, right? And so I just want people to know, like when I see shadow spirits, there are ones that will do you harm. Like I said, I've actually been harmed, right? I've been harmed by one, like a year and a half ago. I was in my bed, I was getting choked, man. I had to wake up and I pushed it off, and it's like my soul. To this day, I don't know how I even got it off me. I literally started coughing my wall. And so I'm kind of glad that this person put this spark in my mind to ask me this so I can have the spark to say this about to you guys out there. All right. But other than that, that's how I look at them. And yes, you can banish certain things like this, but it's like some of them are very powerful because like people need to understand it's because the spirit seems darker in form or darker in energy. Don't mean it's weak. It doesn't mean it's not intelligent. It doesn't mean it can't go to other realms, right? Because I'm telling you now, when I was in the underworld, like there's energies there not there to really harm you. They just want to wake you up to the truth and put some wisdom in your mindset. But it's also because they have like a rebellious energy. Because as humans, right? We come here to incarnate. Yes, it's a lesson. A lot of us chose to be here. But also, I don't want to say punishment, but it's also we have to work off karma, guys. We have to work off our deeds. So when you seem like your life is hard, it's supposed to be, right, to a certain extent, but it doesn't mean you're not supposed to enjoy your life or have fun. I've tried to have fun in my life no matter what hard times I went through, but we have to go through these lessons. And again, like I told people, we come down here with this amnesia, like y'all should know, we don't remember our past lives, right? Um, and so again, there's souls out here that know we're trying to do right and they want to stop it. It's not just really humans, it's spirits that didn't get to do what they needed to do, that have passed on. And when they see you doing good in life, they want to mess with you. Whether they're lost spirits in your house, lost spirits in the abandoned buildings, spirits at your job. I'm telling you right now, there's spirits at your job. I had a friend, right? Um, when I was younger, she was a janitor, and she could see spirits, and she would clean up the elementary school, and she would see spirits like walking through the elementary school looking at her. And on the way to the elementary school, she would see like shadow spirits looking out the window at her, and it would freak her out. Even though she's used to it, she doesn't like it. Though it's still overwhelming, right? It's much more to this world than what you think about and what you think you know. Even some of the stories in like Greek mythology, like I remember the same woman I'm talking about. She's a human woman. She was very intuitive. Um, she called me one day, and she was walking past a graveyard, and she saw a man with a bull's head, and he was walking through the graveyard, and she was trying to ask what it was because she never seen a spirit like that. And for me, I've never seen a spirit with a bull head. And so I read through her because we on the phone. I was on the phone with her, and she's my friend. She's in Montana, and I said, she's like, I don't know what he is. Like, I just saw him, and I said, all of a sudden I heard him talking to her, but she didn't really understand what he was saying. He was talking fast, and I said, and I told her he's telling me that he's a guardian over the graveyard over the dead. And she's like, what? I was like, that's what he's telling me. Now, what's wild about it, I live in Texas right now, right? I just moved from San Diego to Texas, and she lives in Montana. But it's like I was still able to hear what it was saying, right? Because it was trying to tell her, but because she couldn't get it, it was able to broadcast and pretty much telepathically speak that to me, right? So, again, man, this life it's not a game, but it's something to have fun in this life, but also we have to be on our toes in this life. When you wonder why your government, your society's messed up, it's not just because the human has a negative soul. It has spiritual attachments. It came here for a mission. It's not just because there's royal families attached and they want to keep reincarnating to the same body or to the same family. There's people out here that don't really know that they're being technically ran by something higher than them that was set up millenniums ago, right? And so we gotta wake up, right? And send love to each other and try to find some type of balance. But at the same time, we must understand the same shadows you fear and the same darkness you think we should be afraid of, we also have that kind of aspect to ourselves. We have a light and a dark. It just depends on which one you're going to feed more. Are you going to feed more of the light? Are you going to feed more of the dark? Are you going to try to stay balanced and neutral? But one thing about it, you don't want to go too much in the light and become arrogant like you know everything. And you don't want to be too dark or be malevolent and hurting people. You got to find balance, right? You got to learn to accept that you get angry sometimes, right? But don't get angry at the wrong people, right? Don't get angry at the wrong time, right? You also gotta learn to know that, hey, I'm not always right. And then you gotta learn how to be loving. You gotta learn how to be able to forgive your enemy, right? So you gotta learn to be balanced. You don't want to have too much either or, especially on earth, right? You gotta have balance so you can ascend, right, to a higher state of being, whatever you want to call it, heaven or hell or whatever. If you feel like you want to go in the world, that's your choice. If you want to go to heaven, that's you. No matter if you feel like you're religious and you feel like it's going to be a judgment, your soul, your heart's going to get judged. So if you want to go off that doctrine, you're getting judged off your heart. So if you was a little too dark, where you think your vibration's going to go, even though God's forgiven, you might not have did enough. You might have to do some things on the afterlife to get yourself right. Or maybe come back in here. Whether it's 100 years later, 200 later, because like I made a video on this, we don't always reincarnate 10 years after you pass. You might reincarnate 200 years later, right? It depends. And again, like, this is all stuff that just in my mind that they tell me and I think. And also through my travels, I travel around the world. I experience different cultures. I've had different friends from Russia and all that. And I just see what I see. I have spirits talking to me. I don't understand, right? And the reason I'm telling y'all too before I end this video, to get back on shadow spirits, like when I saw the goddess and it came in a dark, shadowy form before she formed herself to a human, it freaked me out because coming from a Christian background, all that, I always looked at things in the dark as just always evil, right? And the main thing she always kept telling me was, why don't you accept yourself? Why don't you be authentic? Why don't you accept who you are? And so a lot of things I'm sharing to you guys, I used to hide from people. When I was like 16, 17, 12 years old, I would see stuff. When I was in church, I would see spirits in churches, guys. That's another thing. There's spirits around churches that are shadow spirits. The very first time I saw shadow spirits was in church. It was wild. It didn't do nothing. It was there. I even saw a guardian that was over somebody, right? Just telling them stuff, right? I even saw a shadow spirit around me, and things like that before in my past. So it's like, they all have their purpose, man, right? And again, she kept asking me, and I had to learn how to accept myself. I had to learn how to not hide my soul from people. Don't hide my truth from people. Speak my truth, even if nobody believes it. I have to say what I say. If I don't, I didn't do my part as a human by doing my little part. It doesn't matter how many souls I touch. It's about that one person that's going to get it. It's no different if I had children. I got to share it. I have to, right? It's not about getting fame or fortune. It's about sharing something. I already have everything I need right now. I'm just trying to share it with somebody. Because one thing I noticed in the military, a lot of places that I traveled, the best secrets and the best thing I found was hidden from the public. When I was in Iraq and I went to Bahrain, the best things I saw was in that desert, right? I saw like spirits in the desert. I saw all kind of things, right? When I was in Japan, the best kept secrets when I was not in the city, from the old man in the forest, right, to the kids that are in the country, right? It wasn't mainstream though. Like everybody on TV right now is on mainstream, the same knowledge, same thought pattern, same vibration, which is great. Yeah, we need to pass the love, but they're almost talking about the same thing. Nobody's thinking about anything new to bring to the table. Like the reason why it's so hard for humans to connect, we're so distracted by the phones and all that stuff. And yeah, I have a phone, but that's because I want to broadcast stuff. I don't really be trying to watch YouTube like that. I just be in my home talking to my spirits. Like how I talk to you guys, I talk to spirits every day. Every day. Like, hey, like how if I would say to my neighbor, hey, how you doing? I talk to my spirits like morning. It's a blessed day to be alive. I wake up, I look at the sun. I wake up at night, hey, I'm saying homage to the moon. I'm just, hey, I'm here, right? And that's why I feel like the ancients did. They acknowledged the spirit world. They acknowledged it. They didn't have all these distractions. And because they acknowledged it and they didn't fear it, it opened the pineal gland, right? No matter what they ate. And then they came to them. That's what we don't do here that much. We can meditate all day, but guess what? We still don't go back to work at an 8-hour job every day, distracted by people, which is fine. We got to pay the bills. But sometimes those energies affect us from tapping in with our spirit, right? And we're disconnected again. It's like a trap. Right now in America, right, it's focused on voting, which we gotta do. Well, if you feel like you need to do it, right? But it's always something. It's always something, and that's why the spirits are trying so hard to wake us up and wake us up. But yeah, man, definitely shadow spirits are definitely there, man. Like I've had visions where my angels on one side and shadow spirit on one side. I had one vision where an angel was telling me that us humans need to clean Earth better again. This is like 2 years ago. I had another vision. I was on a submarine and the angel told me that the military needs to stop putting their subs in the ocean because the sonar, the radar coming off and the radiation, I should say, the radiation coming off the sub was affecting the dolphin sonar, right? And it was frying their brains, almost giving them tumors, and it was causing the whales and dolphins to swim up the shore and die, right? And so other than pollution was the equipment. So this stuff that I seen, it's not a book. So when people are looking for references, there's certain things I have references on, but everything I said tonight, there is no references. You know, there might be somebody online that you might find similarities to me. I don't know. But this is just stuff that I know, guys. And this is stuff that I just sit here and things that told to me. Because one thing I always prayed for was the truth. I told myself I don't want to ever be lied to because I don't like liars. That's like my biggest pet peeve. I don't like liars. But yeah, man, so that's my mix about shadow spirits, goddesses, things in that nature. Because I don't really hear, I mean, forgive me if I'm wrong, I don't watch everybody's channel. I don't know. But when it comes to goddesses and stuff, like, especially the dark goddesses and stuff, like, I never really heard any woman or man really say how they really form in front of them. They just say, oh, they look like this person. She comes with black hair. But I'm telling you right now, everyone that I saw, Mavis, Ice, they all came as a shadow spirit, then they shapeshift, because that's what they really are. Because remember, we're flesh, so they make themselves be visible in the flesh, so we know that it's them, right? And you can feel their energy, right? At least I know I can feel their energy, right? And that's why it is, and that's how they are, right? Even your angels are formless, but they can form into something for you. A lot of the goddesses, like Hecate and all that, they formed what the people look like. That's why they look Mediterranean. Even the African gods and all that is formed. It's not just because the humans want them to, I'm gonna make this statue. No, they showed themselves like that, guys. Like whenever I see the mother goddess, right, I notice that she always tries to form something that looks similar to my mother, right? But it's not my mom, right? But at the end of the day, it's just how they are. That's why I tell people when you're trying to figure out what goddess is around you or angel around you, got to really use your discernment. And if you're talking about archangels like Archangel Gabriel and Michael, right? And that's why I'm a person, when you talk about the omnipresent God source that's higher than the demigods and all that, when you talk about the omnipresent God, whether it's the one in the Bible, whatever y'all want to believe it is, I don't give it a title or a gender. No, it's genderless. It's everywhere, right? And that's why you have so many stories about what God is what, if it's Jehovah, Jesus, or whatever, or if it's, you know what I'm saying, is it Ishtar, Isis, Asherah? You know, I'm getting at with this. The spirit comes to people how it want to come, right? And so that's how shadow spirits as well. If a shadow spirit wants to mess with you, it'll mess with you. If it doesn't want to mess with you, it's not gonna mess with you. But also, every human has certain guardians. You might not think like this, but like all of us humans are literally made differently. There is not one twin that's born from a mother's womb that's really the same. They might look the same, but nobody's truly identical, right? Your soul is not, it's similar, but it's not identical. Every spirit, every person is different. The only thing is we all bleed the same blood. We're all different. We're all intuitive, but how I perceive things can be different than you. It might be similar, but it won't. It may not. The goddess or the God might approach you different than it approached me. But one thing I do know that you guys know, the sun's still in the sky. The moon's still there. We're still on earth. The goddess is still around here. The angels are still around here. So that's never going to change. So that's something you can bet on. All the spirits are always going to be there. It's just about how you perceive it and how they want to show themselves. It doesn't mean they're not real, right? So yeah, man, I got a little, I wanted to add that little extra. I was mainly wanting to talk about shadow spirits, but since I'm up, I just figured, why not put all the spirits in here, right? That's my perspective. And also too, though, be aware, since we're talking about shadow spirits, what you put in your house. So like, just like if you had a statue of a goddess or you got the cross represent Jesus, there's certain I guess you could say like I said, whether it be statues or certain things at the core that you put in your house that could draw negative spirits. So be aware. I might make another video on that because I don't make it too long. I want to go to sleep. Excuse me. You probably want to be cautious of what you put in your home. Because certain things in your home that you think is not negative can draw, not just shadow spirits, just any spirit, really, right? Any spirit. And I learned that the hard way. I'm speaking off experience. I learned that the hard way. I remember one time I was in Greece. Well, yeah, I got the statue from Greece, and it didn't have a name of a goddess, nothing. That it just was a woman, and I know I put it in my home in the States, and I've never seen this woman's spirit ever. And I put this thing in my house, and it literally showed up in my visions. I was like, "What the heck is that?" It was crazy. I did that same crazy thing in India. Now this is the actual goddess. I remember I brought a Lakshmi statue, right? God's my witness to put on everything I love. And this one, I just came out of the military and I stayed at my mother's house and I put it on the table. I fell asleep and she came in my vision. It was wild as hell. So I just was thinking those are more positive energies, but in my mind, it's like if I had something negative, this will not be good. And I'm not saying that's gonna happen to y'all. Maybe it's just me, because I do know, depending on your past life, you're more prone to pull in negative or positive spirits depending on your karma. Like I know me, I rebuke all this, but I do know I had a lot of weight in my past life as far as like negativity. So in this life, I'm supposed to like spread love, heal people, and try not to let people get me angry or anything like that. Because in my past life, I was a person where, not all my past life, but some where, because I was taken advantage of and used, I got irritated and I would just send stuff to people. Like I was sending out spells and spirits to people and take their stuff. It was crazy from what my vision showed me. It's wild, just crazy stuff. That's because prior to doing magic, I was a kind person. But over many, many lives of being kind to me and taken advantage of, I got tired of it. And no matter if when I incarnated as a woman or a man in those past lives, I just snapped and I started working deals with spirits and contracts. So now in this life, because I've healed a lot of that, but it's still some residue, I have to like deal with consequences that I did in the past life. So that's why I feel like when I really look at myself, that's probably why I see spirits and even deities that I don't really want to see, because it's almost like selling your soul to the devil or something, like how you hear on like music companies and stuff. It's so wild, man. That's and it's stuff like that that like I'm just grateful that the omnipresent source allows me to shift whatever I did in the past to something better, right? Even my military, I was in the military before in my past life, and I guess what was wild? I'm in the military now, right? And I was at sea. I was with the Marines as well, right? It's crazy. I've been on so many deployments, and again, spirits are everywhere, man. I seen water spirits, just crazy stuff, guys. I can't even tell you guys. I might make another story about one of my encounters, like as y'all know, like how people want to talk about aliens and stuff. I was on this one base, which I'm not gonna name, that has some, I guess you could say, unidentified beings. It was wild stuff, man. But long story short, man, yeah, I got a story for days, man. Yeah, but that's another video for another day. In case y'all don't know, I'm 39. My birthday's coming up in November. I'll be 40, so I've been doing a lot, guys. And spirit, and just to let you know, man, when I mean stuff can mess with you, just don't think because you're in the flesh you can't get touched. My angels can protect me, right? When I remember my dad got in this haunted house, I tell you guys, I keep saying this story because it's real. The whole house shook for like 2 minutes. There's no earth. When I was at that time, there was no earthquakes. We don't get earthquakes like that in Texas enough to shake the house like this. Spirit shook the house up because my dad threw some books, a book of the dead and a book of Revelations. It was like with Egyptian mummies and all that, because the people who lived in my house at that time were archaeologists, and they were doing like witchcraft in it before we moved here. We didn't know that when we moved into the house. We didn't know that. I only knew that because my spirit guides told me, my guardians, right? And it was so dark, and they even made the house look like a pyramid, man. They had it looking like a triangle, and it looked weird. We're in Texas, you know. Normally you think you see in Texas, you think you see horses and stuff. Nah, this is in the forest, really outside of a lake, and then house is shaped like a triangle. That my dad house that he chose living at the current time. It was haunted, horrible, haunted. I saw ghosts in there all the time. I was like, that time I was like 19. Right, and another thing I can speak on this is I had life-death experiences, guys. So if y'all wonder why, what am I doing to get like this? It's just been with me, man. I don't just speak out my behind, guys. You know, I'm not sitting here drunk or high talking, man. I don't do anything negative. I've never done anything with no paraphernalia. I never did anything negative like that. I'm a healthy man, and I'm just trying to lead people to the light. But I also try to show people the shadow selves of life, not to really scare y'all. So if y'all on my channel and y'all are new and you wonder, well, he was doing tarot readings for like 5 days. Now he's talking about spirituality. I don't want to hear that. Well, you don't have to hear it. But I'm just here to speak it from one person, guys. I'm not here to be put in a box, right? Because I know some people, they get their channels, they want to branch out and do something else, but their audience don't want to see it. They don't want to support it. They want to listen to them. So they keep being feeling obligated to keep doing the same thing. I'm not about to do that. And I'm not about to make another channel to talk about this stuff. Cause I'm trying to alleviate what I've done in my past life. So I'm trying to fix myself. I'm not trying to come back here. I'm not gonna let anybody stop me. Right? Alright. That's why I'm just grateful that I came out the military before we had like a crazy war. Right? I was able to retire out in time. But my dad, he was in the war, Desert Storm and all that. But yeah, man, if y'all ain't questions, guys, I got stories for days. And I got so many things in my head, like, I don't know what I'm gonna make next. But I'm definitely gonna do some more tarot readings, guys. And if it resonates with you guys, if it don't, it don't. Well, my readings, again, it's not meant for everybody. I'm not meant for everybody. And that's fine. I'll be honest with you, I don't want to be for everybody. Like, sometimes I be thinking to myself, like, do I really want to touch that many souls? Because I don't want soul ties, man. I don't even know if I ain't want to connect. Because one thing that people don't know, right? When people get big, right? Whether you're a famous singer, a famous YouTuber, even the military, if you're a general, you got to be careful of the people you lead because you're in charge. So even though you guys are adults, or even if you guys are teens watching me, I don't know how you guys are watching me. Like, what happens is, right? I'm gonna use musicians, right? When you go pay to go see a concert, right? And I don't want to scare you guys. This doesn't mean you shouldn't go to a concert. Say you got Beyonce or Taylor Swift. You out there like, yeah, Taylor Swift, ooh, that's my girl, whatever, right? And say you one of those diehard fans, though, the ones that be passing out and stuff and having all the paraphernalia, you know, all that stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. But you give them energy, though. So what you understand is, right, you're almost deifying them. So all your energy is projected. You singing and shouting, because singing is a vibration, right? And it goes to the artist. right? And so say if she has like guardian angels, or say if she's like working with deities, like some people think some of the artists are, they think they work with some devil energy. They're taking your energy, guys. They're taking all your energy, and they're gonna get more famous off you guys, and they're gonna get more money off you guys. Yeah, especially out there falling out, passing out. And again, doesn't mean don't go to a concert. But I'm telling you the truth. I'm smiling because it's funny, because people don't realize what they're doing. It's almost like you worshiping the artist. So even though the artist is not your god, technically you're throwing energy at them. Yeah. Um, and a lot of people know this. Like when you think about kings and queens, right? When they are forcing people, like they forced them through power because they wanted their energy. It's not that because they just wanted your money back in the day in medieval times and all that. It's like, I want you to worship me. Like, so when you look at think about Caesar, to me, in my personal perspective, we're almost in a slight rulership under the Caesar rulership. Like, even though you got the Rothschilds and all that, they're doing something similar to how Caesar did it, right? When you start putting your face on money and you put your face on coins, guys, you're trying to leave a legacy to have yourself lived as a god, right? Because people pretty much people like steal over money, people hurt people over money, people unalive people over money, right? And that's blood money. It's like blood sacrifice. So every human is like working their labor and giving their energy over currency, which is money. And currency is mother, the feminine energy, giving it to the negative people to receive your energy to them, to make more power over you. So no matter if you have a PhD and you're making $300,000 a year, $600,000 $600,000 a year, it doesn't matter. Or if you're broke, you're like in a forever going circle. And so because we decide as humans to have money and have a currency, the universe knows that, right? So now that's why people are able to do money spells. That's why you can pray over money, because you made that something we need. We don't live under the barter system where we can like trade, which I wish we could. We can't. I can't trade you my pig for a horse, right? Some people can nowadays, but for the most part, the world's not working out. We're working off gold and silver and money. Money is currency, right? Yeah, man, you guys gotta really think about this, guys. And like when you look at the White House, right? Have you noticed it looks kind of like a Greek temple? Have you noticed that like even though they say politics and religion doesn't mix, everything's mixed, guys. These people pray to deities and spirits all day. Do you guys know in America there used to be a theater called the ISIS Theater? You're probably not gonna be able to look it up on Google. I know they took it down. I remember I looked into this a while ago. It's so hard to find out about that. I'm kind of even nervous even bringing this up. But there's so many things like they had these theaters, right? How y'all go to the movie theaters and they project. They had these projections, and like people like what do you want to call them, masons, whatever. They'll go to these places, these theaters, and do projections, and then we doing stuff. Nobody knew what they did. But my spirits told me they were conjuring spirits. Because, you know, when y'all go, oh, that's another thing. When y'all go to the movie theaters, right? Y'all are looking at a big old black screen, right? It's a big old mirror. And y'all are getting scared off of certain scary movies. All y'all are doing is, like, feeding fear to spirits. And so, like, say if you are a scary person, you want to know why you're more scary? Maybe because also you watch scary movies, right? So when you really see a real ghost in front of you, or you really see a real soul in front of you, they can harvest your energy because you are already indoctrinated to be scared. It's like they're embracing you. And also, a lot of these movies is not talking out their behinds, right? I give you an example. One movie I resonated with was the first one, Insidious one, not the second one, but the first one, because that's kind of how I see some spirits, Insidious movie. And also, there's this older movie that's older than that called Fallen. I think the actor Denzel Washington was in there. It's about this detective, right? And he was going off this after the serial killer. And when he was going after him, he realized that the serial killer was motivated because of a malevolent spiritual attachment. It was a spirit attached to the serial killer. So what happened was every time he thought he caught the serial killer, the human, the spirit that was making the human like hurt people and take people's lives, it would go into other people's bodies, almost like take over the person's body. But the only thing is, it couldn't take over the person's body for a long period of time. It can only take over the person's body for like a couple of seconds or like a minute or two, like real quick, just enough to get the job done. Now, the reason why I said I resonate with the Fallen movie, because that's how I see it. It's like people think like, all right, spirits can possess you for a certain amount of time, for long periods of time, but most of the time it's quick. So like when you're in anger, right, and you're angry at somebody, and say you're about to fight somebody, right, you pull out a knife on somebody, yeah, you're angry, But as soon as you get angry, right? Depending on your vibration and also your zodiacal placements and your chakra alignments, certain spirits can cause you to actually take somebody's life. And even though it is you, it's not really you, okay? And then they'll hop out and you're like, well, I blacked out, I don't know what happened. Yeah, that's because the spirit left your body, guy. It doesn't matter if you're Christian. If your energy is in the wrong place at the wrong time, good luck. Yeah, this place is crazy sometimes. I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you, especially me being in the military, working in a confined space around nothing but men and some women at times. I have women that work me in the military, work with the same people every day. I got to study people. It's like I was always that quiet guy. I observed people and I watched their action. And I would also can tell the energies because you can see in their eyes, like their eyes, like it like twitch. It's like something with their eyes. It moves, right? But yeah, and also in case you guys are wondering, I'm a firm believer. I don't believe in like it's how people believe in all these alien stuff. I don't really believe in all of that. The only spirits that I call that you guys are identified as aliens that I know is real, that I definitely seen since when I was in the military, I saw physically in Japan, is reptilians. I can definitely tell you for sure those are real. The only thing is I don't want to say they're aliens because they really seem like they're earthbound because they're interdimensional. I feel like they go back and forth. Those for sure real. For sure real. Without a shadow of doubt are real. And some of the ones that have the big kids are real. But the other stuff, I'm still questioning. But I know for a fact those are real. Yeah. Now the only reason I don't want to call the reptilian aliens though, because I seen them spirits in the underworld though. I seen them in certain certain realms of darkness. So I just know they don't like us, right? But I don't feel like that's a proper name to really call the reptilian alien because like they're alien to us. Like how people say you're a foreign alien or you're alien to this nation, you're foreign. I just look at them as a foreign citizen. Like they're just sitting here, this malevolent, right? And that's another story for another time, guys. But I'm just bringing all this stuff while it's on the top of my head because I really don't want to make another video on this. Because I was going to keep it short with shadow spirits. But, like, no, I'm going to keep it going. I'm going to try to keep it under an hour. Because, like, it just got to be put out. Again, I'm not here to touch everybody. Because, to be honest with you, I know I'm kind of even nervous that if this, even though this don't seem like a lot to you, whoever's watching this video, it don't seem like a lot to you. Because of my prior career, it's a lot to me. Because if too many people do know about what I was talking about, and it's coming from me, I'm concerned a little bit. So that's why I'm like, I don't know, because I'm even though I'm telling you guys, I'm trying to not tell too much. I don't know. Oh, I'm also being guided to tell you guys too. Tattoos, right? So y'all know I got tattoos, right? I've been had these tattoos. People don't know you can have tattoos in the Navy. You can have hand tattoos in the Navy. Yes, you can have tattoos in the Navy. I got all. So all these tattoos are symbolism, spiritual symbolism, right? So what you guys don't know is, right, when you guys get tattoos, you know your blood runs out your arm, right? You're bleeding, right? So even though I know some people don't want to put thought into their tattoos, I would highly behoove you to really put thought into your tattoos because whatever you put on your body, it's going to draw spirits to you. I hope this makes sense. It's going to draw spirits to you, right? Because one thing about me, everything I chose is spiritual, right? But what I did, as I got older, one thing I didn't realize though, even though it's spiritual and had a purpose, and thank God they're positive, it drew a lot of feminine energy. I didn't realize that just about every single, like pretty much 90.9% of every tattoo I have is feminine energy. Everything. And then as I got older, it makes sense though, because I remember I told you guys about the encounter I have with the goddesses and all that. I didn't understand it. And it makes sense. It all stems from a past life. I used to be a part of a matriarch. So again, I'm just telling you how I looked in my life and I reflected. You guys would do the same thing. You don't really need to go pay $1,000 for a mentor. Unless you feel like you need to. You don't need to go have the most healthiest diet. And the reason I'm saying this, right, it doesn't mean you guys shouldn't be healthy. But I'm a person, man, I love sweets. When I was young, I love sweets. And I ate sugar, I ate bad food, I ate burgers. But even during those times, I still had premonitions, guys. It didn't stop me from having dreams. It didn't stop me. And again, in my family, I only know like 2 people that has premonitions sometimes, but nobody's sitting here hearing spirits like me. So it's not like, it's probably because he inherited. No. It's so because every person in my family, I did not know them in my family. Some people I don't feel connected to in my family. Like the only people I care about in my family, in my personal perspective, my mom, my sister, and my niece. And my dad, but my dad, he's kind of distant. That's it. No offense, I love my grandma, I love everybody, but it's like, it's not close. because I've been moving around my whole life since I've been 3 years old. So, like, there's no connection. I have more connection with my friends, some of my friends, and I don't have that many friends. I only had like 2 close friends, and right now I'm a loner. That's why I know, like, I came in this lifetime just to fix myself, share love to everybody, and just bounce, disappear, and ascend. I don't want no binds, ties to this world at all. And I've been doing good, and that's something I know is my past life. My past life, I always had a little certain group of people, and then I left. It keeps the karma from not being too heavy. The only reason my karma was kind of heavy because of the stuff that I did. It wasn't really because, oh, I was trying to get along with everybody and be cool with everybody, right? It keeps things good. It keeps my energy free. I don't like being tied down. But yeah, long story short, that's enough about me. I don't know how I got on that tangent. Forgive me, guys. Forgive me. But anything else I want to tell you guys? I need to make sure, I got to figure out when to title this. Because I was going to title it Shadow Spirits, but now I'm going to talk about all kind of spirits. Was there anything else? Nah, that's about it. I think I might make another video on trust, guys. How to heighten your intuition. Because a lot of you guys, everybody's intuitive, guys. It's just about, you guys got to trust it. Just trust it. Oh, one thing too. They want me to end it right here. Y'all should notice, when y'all buy stuff from the thrift store, or even if it's at Walmart or your local grocery store, wherever y'all are around, I'm talking people from all around the world, y'all should notice, be careful what you bring in your house. It has spirit energy to it. Y'all notice. Like, I know me, even books, right? I noticed, like, when I got the, what was that book called? The Dawn, I think it was the Golden Dawn. I had got this book called The Golden Dawn a long time ago. I couldn't keep that book in my house 2 days. Because every time I opened it and I touched certain symbols in the book with my hands or whatever, I would get certain visions, and I just got like certain negative energy off of certain parts of the book. I had to throw it away. So for me, I'm sensitive to touch. So like, if I remember when I was in Iowa and I was working at Iowa State University with the scientists, every time I got in the chair, I felt anxiety. And it wasn't because of me, but what I was told is the person who worked in that chair had anxiety. Well, guess what? I asked my supervisor, I said, hey, was the person working this chair going through anything? And they was like, no, the girl, she was okay. She's just a workaholic. Long story short, I started asking questions. I asked one of my coworkers. My coworker fessed up and said the girl that worked in that chair, she had diabetes, and she was anxiety prone, and she was overweight, and she was going through a lot of stuff because they were overworking her. And so she left her residue, her energy in that chair in that room. And I asked them, when I found that out, hey, can I move out of this room? So that's how I know, because of my experiences, not off a book, none of that. I learned on my experience because I know I'm not supposed to feel like that. I've never felt that kind of energy. And again, when you really quiet your mind, guys, and you really tap in with yourself, you'll figure things out. And if you get a stronger bond with your guides and really speak to them and don't have fear, or if you just want to talk to God and don't have fear, don't doubt yourself that you're not worthy of being talked to by your spirit guides. Because eventually you'll be a spirit guide if you choose to be, right? They will show you the truth. I'm telling you right now. Because one thing I've learned, when we're thinking too much in the past, you get depressed. When you look too much in the future, right, it gets anxiety. You got to stay present. But you also need to learn to trust yourself. Trust your own discernment. And if you relate with somebody, that's fine. That means you're doing well. If you feel like, hey, I got somebody I'm good with, hey, I know I'm not crazy. Because sometimes we do need a validation. Like, meaning this. We don't need to seek validation, but when validation comes, right, it's great. So I give you an example. If I stated something here tonight and you had a similar experience, right, and I'm the first guy that you heard speak, and it's been like 5 years or 10 years that you resonate with, take that as your validation sign. So now when you go throughout your life, even if you never see my channel again, you'll be okay that, hey, I know I'm not the only one out here. I know I'm not crazy. There's somebody out there that thinks like me. It doesn't mean that you don't have your own identity or your own uniqueness. It's just that, hey, I know I'm not crazy. Because I know one thing about me, I didn't have a lot of validation, not that I was seeking it. But when I did see one or two like-minded people like me, especially when I was in the military, it made me feel like, okay, I'm good. I know I'm not going bananas, right? Because again, sometimes you just need that. But at the same time, it don't mean look for it. But again, man, I just wanted to share my voice tonight, and it's only because one of my followers, she pretty much asked a question, and it kind of inspired me to go ahead and get out my bed to make this video. So I want to talk your ears off. I'm pretty sure that I think that's everything that I had to say. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So that being said, guys, if y'all like the video, subscribe. I probably so also expect again if y'all new to my channel, I'm mostly doing tarot. Um, I'll be honest with you, I'd rather just do mediumship. I don't really like using the cards, to be honest with you, but humans, we need physical. People like to see things, pictures, so like I show the cards. But just expect though, guys, if you're gonna be following me, not all the time, but expect me to put out videos like this, right? And one thing, I know I got some bookworm out there who's probably really school savvy and all that. And just let you know, guys, I've been to college, went to school for kinesiology, did all that, right? But I know somebody out there might be like, hey, you got any books I can read? You got any references? I'm gonna tell you something, guys. Something I learned. I have one channel I used to give references to, right? People always want to question the author. They want to question this. I've had people who have had PhDs, they question it. So what's the point? There is no point. So how I'm looking at this. If I took my hard work to meditate and pray to God, you can do the same thing. If I took the time to find books of my own, you can do the same thing. Let your angels guide you to the right book and the right people. I'm not here to put references on here or none of that because it's argumentative. I don't like arguing. I don't like that. I don't like to have controversy when I'm trying to bring peace. So how I always in my videos, I try to just agree to disagree. You don't have to like what I say. It doesn't change my view. I'm open to hear, but I'm not going to change my view. I'll just add it to my thoughts. I'm just here to put down a message. Doesn't mean I know everything, guys. I'm not saying I know everything. I'm just going off the experience that I've seen and what I've heard and what I know for myself. Because a lot of times I've read books, and at this point in my life, there's nothing that's really resonating with me, guys. Like I'll be honest with you, it's nothing. It's nothing at all. Nope. It's all experiences. Because to me, in my personal opinion, when you're reading a book, you're listening to somebody else's experience and thoughts, and then you might see if it resonates with you. And just as a spell, somebody can give you a spell. You're reading the spell, but you really don't know if it works until you try it out. It just makes sense. And so you still have to experience it. When you read the Bible, you're reading somebody else's experience. And it's supposed to give you hope of what's to come. Because you really don't know. It's pretty much a big assumption. You really don't know. 1,000 people can say they have miracles. And yeah, it could be God, but you don't know if God told the angels to do that for you. You don't know. You're just assuming. It's not discrediting God or Jesus, not like that, okay? I'm not, because again, I came out Christian background. I have nothing, because I believe in the omnipresent source, just that you know, right? But at the end of the day, though, I just feel like, again, everybody's perspective of how they read the Bible or anything is you. It's off you. And I'm a person, just like how we read Noah, you read about Moses. Why would you deny yourself as humans watching my channel right now? Why would you deny yourself to think that you cannot be as smart as wise as those men that was in that Bible? And that's something that I have like a hard time getting. Like I don't understand why humans don't like crack their brains open, because it makes me kind of irritated sometimes. Where like I'm not saying those weren't good prophets, whether you feel like they lived or not, or even Buddha, but why can't we think like this? And I'm not talking about no new age mainstream people just doing tarot or all that. I think bigger than that. I'm being honest with you. Like I really feel like we all have God in us, right? And I just know that somebody out there one day is gonna write a book or say something on channel like this, or you might have a channel where it's going to inspire people to keep it going. But it won't just inspire them for 5 seconds or 5 minutes like some of these TikTok videos. It's going to inspire them where that book will be left for the next generation. Because in my personal perspective, a lot of stuff that's written is kind of getting outdated, and so many people are waking up. They don't know what to believe no more. So we're gonna have to need a more stronger documentation, more stronger experiences, because life must evolve. Like I'm telling you right now, these goddesses and God and God's source, it evolves with us. The same God that was here where Noah, whether y'all believe that story is true or not, is with us now. It knows we evolve. It knows we have cars. So the God source, whatever you think it is, has to talk to us differently. So if the God source know it can't tell us to go throw rocks and stones at people, right? It's gonna tell us to do something different. right? If it knows that a lot of us humans don't live in the forest, we can't go to the ocean to baptize ourselves, it might tell you to go to church. You understand? We have to evolve. So again, I'm not discrediting anybody's religion or anything like that, but I'm a believer that again, the world is trying to get balanced, but it's still a little chaotic, too chaotic in my personal perspective. And I just feel like there's gonna be a time where there's gonna be some type of new person, new people, I should say, that's gonna have to bring out better messages to the collective more than some 5 minute video. Because I always thought to myself, what if the internet goes out? Just what if, right? What if we went down back to basics? Are y'all gonna be like spiritually strong enough to hold your own? I'm not talking about like, oh, are you gonna be able to grow food? I'm not talking about that. That's what a lot of people want to talk about. I think people talking about I'm gonna stack food and stack weapons. I'm talking about, are you gonna be spiritually strong enough to still be faithful and dedicated to talk to your spirit guides? Are you gonna still be dedicated to talk to God? Like, say if a war broke out right now, because this is the stuff I used to think about when I was in the military. When I was out there in the Iran in the Straits of Hormuz and my ship was sinking, the only thing on my mind was God. How am I gonna get out of this? When I'm gonna pop this gun? I'm gonna have to get that corner. When I gotta do? Everywhere I went, it was like God was my bodyguard. My angels say, don't hit that corner. He got a gun around the corner. Hey, don't. Hey, he's over here. He's looking. Like that's what got me in tune. They always saved me, even when I was before the military. When like I was certain neighborhoods weren't the best for me. They like go to the left. There's a person over here by the rouse, might don't go this way, go this way, go this way. You know that they're always doing this to me all the time, all day, all day. Hey, don't go in that house. Tell your dad don't buy that house. There's a negative spirit in the house. And I would tell my dad, like just like when my grandfather passed, like, hey, but again, it's not like a physical voice. Sometimes you figure it's all my inner knowing, my own inner knowing. A lot of it's just me, or either they'll get a voice thrown at me. But most times it's just me. It's just my own inner connection, connect to the God source, knowing, hey, don't take that corner, right? When you go on duty today, when you go on your gun, this is gonna happen. And that's why I said we gotta think bigger, right? So even if people think this whole world about to burn up, right? You gotta have a stronger connection with the God source, whatever you believe in, right? No matter if you think you know how to grow crops, if you think you're gonna save all the food up in case something was to happen, are you really spiritually strong enough to like pray and connect with a God source or angel or whatever you believe in, even if it's dark? I don't know what you believe in out there. Are you gonna be strong enough to believe in something when everything's gone? That's what I'm trying to get people to think about. And I don't get too serious, guys. So get guys, I know I'm kind of getting serious. I joke, I have fun at times. Yeah, I don't want y'all to think I'm always serious, guys. I'm not some old man just trying to be serious and put fear in y'all. I'm not a fear mongering, right? I just a person that I go hard for spiritual stuff. Like I'm a very soulful man. Um, I love life. I love people. I love animals. I'm a nurturer, right? I'm a man with a motherly heart, right? But I'm not a coward either. Uh, I stand up for people. Um, and because I was a person who was oppressed a lot. I couldn't speak a lot when I was growing up because I was under a very strict Christian family, like stricter than normal. And I felt like I couldn't speak. And I wasn't the biggest guy in the world either. I was really small growing up. I was skinny. And I'm still not that big now. And I always was kind of put in situations where my back against the wall, right? And even in the military, I always had people competing with me, trying to be jealous of me, and for no reason. I wasn't even doing nothing. Mind my business. So now I'm here to just, if anybody's in a similar situation, to get people uplifted. So a lot of my message is always trying to be inspiring to uplift somebody out there who might want to hear my messages. Right, so forgive me, guys, if I'm long-winded. I just been through so much stuff that I don't know if I can even put in some of these videos, because even though I got this tarot channel, this is so many things I want to share to people, because like I just want people to go on the right path. I'm not here to force people. I just try to give people like hints on how to make this life smoother. Whether it be your love life, you question why your love life's messed up. It might not be your fault all the time. It might not just be karma. It could be other things. It could be spirits around you that you don't see messing your life up, guys. It's not that you're a bad person. You know what I'm saying? If the world is unbalanced, what do you think is happening? Like, so say if you live in a city that is like full of crime or had war. For example, some people don't know this. You can live in the most suburban places, right? But you still feel negative energy. You don't know, back in the 1600s, there could have been a lot of death there. They could have bodies under the earth that you stand. You don't know, guys. Restless spirits. Everybody's not ascending like you think. Now they are now. But everybody didn't just ascend, guys. You have earthbound spirits. You have spirits that's in the what you want to, if you want to perceive it as the underworld. You have spirits that's in certain heavenly states. You have spirits that's all kind of places. You got portals. Next time I make a video on a portal I saw on near my dad's house up in the mountains over here where I live at. It was spinning. It was like a black portal. It was wild. I ain't never seen that, and I was wide awake. I was watching my dad's dog. I saw it spinning. I was in the house. It was in the ceiling, just spinning, and then it disappeared. It's crazy. Crazy stuff. Stuff I can't even comprehend to make sense to tell you guys. Just like I saw in the future, I saw a flood. Oh, I don't know if I should even say this, but I saw water coming to the East Coast, about to go on a flood, and also on the West Coast of America. They didn't give me a time frame. I keep seeing these things and I write them down. But nonetheless, guys, you guys got the same gifts, guys. I just guys want you to wake up, man. And I'm grateful for all my followers, guys. And next time I'm gonna try not to be so long-winded, because this video was not supposed to be this long. It was only supposed to be 15 to 20 minutes about shadow people. But also the thing about it is the interesting thing about me, and I just saw an orb, is the fact that at night I get the most messages. So like this was not planned out. Like the girl, the follower, she asked about shadow spirits, right? But what happens is when I start talking, one thing my guys been telling me they're going to do is inspire me to tell you guys more things. So it's like, dang. So when I came on here, I didn't expect to say this, but as soon as I'm about to get off, thoughts are put in my head to say, tell them this, tell them this, tell them this. So even though it's me, it's kind of like not me. It's like me and just my angels, me and my angels. It's like back and forth. I'm like, oh my God. But it's me talking though. It's like, oh my God, I want to go to sleep. It's like I'm channeling, right? So yeah, guys, forgive me, guys. This video was definitely not too that long. Next time, I'm going to talk about other things, but I am going to be making 2 more tarot readings and more tarot readings to come. Expect more videos like this, right? Next time, I may talk about, what was I going to say? I'm going to have another spiritual video, definitely. It's coming up soon. Yeah, I done lost my train of thought that quick, but it's going to be interesting, guys. Y'all going to see. I'm going to talk about different deities and certain things I've seen, and also how the ley lines affect us on Earth. Like, of course, you know about astrocartography, but I'm going to be talking about that because some people don't know we have a collective shadow that affects humanity as well, right? So like how you have a shadow self, humanity has a collective shadow, right? And that's why it's about the city. So like if you feel like you don't vibrate good on this city, even if your friends are good, you might want to move if you have the money, right? Like I told you guys before, like I did better in San Diego with my job wise compared to here in Texas, but I had more peace in Japan, right? I did great in Iraq as well. Some people, a lot of my friends didn't like Iraq. I loved it, right? Everybody thought I was Arabic, right? I had a great time in Iraq. Italy, I did wonderful. The Italians loved me, right? It's just everywhere I went was different, and I feel like the same for you guys. So really check your energy. Notice the signs, guys. But man, I was something important I was trying to say to you guys that I wanted to add on to, but I can't remember. So that means that's my sign to check out, man, because like I done talked too long. But again, guys, thank you guys. This time I am really going to end the video, and I'm thankful for all my new followers. And I will see you guys in my next tarot reading. I'm going to be doing a tarot message. And again, like I said again, expect me to be talking about different topics on things. And I told you guys, I'm not going to give you guys references. Like, unless the spirit around me or my heart compels me to do so, I'm not. Because, like, 99% of the things I'm talking about is off of what I've experienced. So, for example, the videos about shadow spirits. Yeah, we all heard about shadow spirits. But my perspective and how I perceive them and what I've seen is from what I've seen. It's not because of somebody told me something or I read a book. No, it's not that deep for me. I'd rather go off my experience, and that's what I do. Yeah, that's just how I've always been. Like, just like a gun, people try to give me instructions on how to break down a gun with a book. I threw the book out the window and I just looked at it and I fixed it with my hand and I learned how to unassemble a gun. Like, that's how I am. I'm more physical. I gotta, or into physical and spiritual, right? But mostly sure, guys, with that being said, guys, thank you again. I wish you guys the best, guys, and blessed it be. And also thank you, follower, for mentioning and asking about this shadow spirit thing. It was definitely meant to come out because I wouldn't have thought about bringing this up, but I didn't think about it. That is a topic that some people are questioning, don't really know. I have insight in, because a lot of times people who hear shadow spirits, people are talking about it now, but also the darker aspects of life. You might hear stuff like that from like Aleister Crowley, stories about him, and Madame Travosi, whatever. But you don't really hear it. Like, you're hearing it from the past people though, and some of these people didn't do the best of things, right? And here you're talking to somebody who's in the way of a light energy, but I've experienced crazy stuff without doing as much dark stuff as they done. And I'm wrong now. I've done candle stuff. I've been in Christianity. I've done things. I've been in the military. I'm well versed, right? I'm not one sided, right? I'm not devilish, none of that, right? I'm a loving man that just wants to bring peace to the world and illuminate people to the truth. Because I'm tired of things being covered up. Because when I was in the military, there's things I experienced that I couldn't talk about. It made me mad. I was on missions and I couldn't tell people where I was at. I know why I couldn't do it, but it's just annoying. I hate lying. I used to hate calling my mom saying, hey, I can't tell her where I'm at. It makes me mad. It's frustrating. And then even when I was a kid, I can't tell people I saw a spirit because people think I'm crazy. It's crazy, man. Like, it's crazy. Like, that's why that's why I'm a true speaker. I'm a true speaker. I hated being around certain friends, and they might think I like hip hop, but I like rock. I'm into gothic women, right? I like black. I like the color black. I date different cultures because that's what I like. I like what I like, And I used to have to hide that stuff, man. So now, as I got matured and throughout my years, I don't care no more. So again, with that being said, I got love for you guys, and blessed be, guys. That's all I gotta say. Blessed be.